So would it be fair to say that was relatively easy to do? Right? It was quick, it was easy, it's a no-brainer. It takes longer to talk about it than to actually do it. Did you feel the impact? Right? Did you feel how you weren't losing control of the conversation and vice versa? You weren't being offered the control of the conversation, right? So what I want to do now is to start going through a couple of simple but relatively sophisticated ways of interrupting a conversation that will allow you to control of it and then start doing these things. If you're aware of these things, then you just continue talking. In other words, you start the talking and you carry on talking, you carry on talking. You ask the question, but then you answer it yourself, so you carry on talking. So in other words, the continuity means you're in charge for that conversation, right? If you have enough authority within that group, then your authority, the power that you have in terms of your body language and so on, means you can be silent. And people won't interrupt. Because they're waiting for you to continue. Did you see what happened there? Right? That's exactly what the whole authority principle is about, isn't it? We had an interruption, by the way, thank you for doing that, because that was actually very useful, right? The whole point of the authority manner is like someone interrupts and you go, who's in control now? Right? Because I have reacted to it. Versus, he said something, now I could either override it like I haven't heard it, or I call it give him the look. And also, did you also notice the response I got, which was a classic appeasement gesture, which is, no, it's okay, right? What is that doing? In terms of the social context, it's reestablishing the relative relationships, which tells you again what's going on. Is it a challenge happening or not? Do you see how that works? It's just a natural response. However, if you're not the authority figure, and you can't assume those pauses as much, you will do it time. Initially, you may have to run a little bit, and then you can slow down a little bit, and you can take your time. And then, of course, you're letting people realize that although you're taking your time, it really isn't their turn to talk yet. See how that works? Now we want to start interrupting their conversation so you can start that pattern movement. Does that make sense?